We are back with some more Colts franchise, and we are at the very end of free agency. We're probably going to be advancing, as the time I'm recording this, to the draft. Within an hour or two, we're going to be in draft season. I'm hopping on, show you guys, what we've done in the offseason here, what players have moved around. First things first, I did cut some people. Kenny Moore and Rocky Ya-Sin I've been trying to trade the whole offseason ever since we opened up trading, and not a single soul has came after me to try to trade for him, so I cut them. Just, Rocky Ya-Sin barely even plays. Kenny Moore was in the slot, who I did like, but we had to cut him because of cap reasons. Shaquem Griffin, another one, just cut because of cap reasons. Same thing with the last three here: Danny Pinter, Franklin, or a little more than the last three. Taylor Jackson, Roosevelt Brockers, Ben Banogu, and Shaq Waller, all cut due to cap reasons. I think I had $4 or $5 million in cap to work with entering the offseason, and there was a player I bid on in the silent bids, and I didn't have that much money to work with. It was between me and two other teams, and I had the least amount of money offered to him and the least chance to get him, and he came to me. So I had to cut some people to create more space, and as you can see, these are all the guys that we did to do that. We also made a trade to free up a little bit more space as well for us. So we'll get into that just now. We traded Ryan Kelly and Bobby Okereke to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this man's first name, but Gilbert III. He will probably be playing outside linebacker for us if I had to guess. He's a middle linebacker right now, but I can switch him around to left or right or whatever. So he'll probably fill in Anthony Walker's spot if I have to guess, if the other bid that I put on right now, if I win that. But Bobby and Ryan Kelly regressed a little bit with his age. He's like an 84 overall right now, which is okay. But he's really not that important to the team. Bobby wasn't bad. He wasn't like an amazing player, but he wasn't a bad player. He was just kind of out there. So I thought he'd be kind of spendable. Is not might even be the right word, but thought I could get rid of him. I use my middle linebacker like 80% of the time anyways, so it's not like I need like a god there. It'd be nice. But I do have a bid on a middle linebacker, like I said, currently. So if we win that, that man will be middle linebacker, and Gilbert will be playing in the role of Anthony Walker's spot. So that is the only trade we made. I tried making some other ones with, like I said, with Rocky Ya-Sin and Kenny Moore. Could not get that through. Before I forget, I did change both my playbooks, so now we are rocking with the Cincinnati Bengals offensive playbook and the 49ers defensive playbook. And I also extended the fifth-year option for Davenport. So Davenport, we don't have to worry about signing next season. He's got his fifth-year option. We accepted it, blah, 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 blah. So he's locked in for another year. But that is that for trades and releases. So let's get into retired players real quick before we get into the big-time thing. So you guys can see my big-time signing here. Trent Williams retired, Tyler Eifert, Mitchell Schwartz, Russell Okung. These are some pretty solid people. Kevin Zeitler, Earl Thomas, Harrison Smith, Levante David, Justin Pugh, did I say his man's name? Deion Buchanan, Richard Sherman, Quan Short, Tyrod Taylor, Tom Brady, Cordero Patterson. There's a lot of people. Jason Peters, J.J. Watt, Anthony Sherman, Linval Joseph. A lot of talented players have retired. These guys are a little bit lower down there now. Drew Brees done for, David Johnson, but just a lot of people retired this offseason. It was actually pretty crazy. We had no one retire, thankfully. But let's get into the free agents here. I'm just going to start with the signing we have, and it is DeMarcus Lawrence. So Darren Carden, I actually moved him to defensive tackle. So it's going to be DeMarcus Lawrence, DeForest Buckner, Darren Carden, and Jared Davenport on the right side. We only have 2 more seasons left, so I was trying to weigh the option. I was like, who's more important? Is it a center and a middle linebacker that I use her most of the time, or a defensive lineman that's a freaking god that can really help the pass rush, and I don't use her my defensive lineman, so I mean, I just think DeMarcus Lawrence will be much more impactful than Ryan Kelly and Bobby Okereke. So that's one of the main reasons why I made that Pittsburgh trade. Just, recoup some draft. I got a lot of draft capital to work with this draft and our next season with the last draft of the year. I'm very, very excited to play with DeMarcus Lawrence. As you can see, our cap room is very limited, and we have a bid on Eric Kendricks right now. So hopefully I can get him when we advance. If not, then we might have to draft a linebacker. But if we do win the Eric Kendricks bid when we advance, I'll probably have to update you guys that the beginning of the draft video. But if we win that bid, then we'll have Eric Kendricks, middle linebacker. We'll have the linebacker, Gilbert III on the, right outside linebacker spot, and then left would be Darius Leonard. So I think we'll be perfectly set with that. Just going over some quick, some new faces on new teams. Josh Jacobs on the Bears. Josh Allen went to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks got a lot of players. Trey Flowers on the Falcons. Julio's on the Seahawks. James Bradbury went to the Eagles. Austin Eckler to the Steelers. Matthew Ioannidis to the Seahawks. Larry Tunsil to the Falcons. Bears got Taylor Lewan. Leonard Williams, probably the J.J. Watt replacement or something, I would assume there. Corey Davis to Chicago. Will Lutz. I mean, there's still some pretty solid talent out there right now that people are going to get for cheap. I mean, look at all these running backs. Cam Akers, Rashad Penny, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins. I mean, there's a lot of talent out here still that people need to bid on. I just don't got the money to necessarily do it, but there's plenty of talent out there. I mean, there's even an 83 overall X Factor Thielen here. He's struggling. I mean, the man's struggling. He's getting up there in age, but he's still got the X Factor, still got the traits. Look at people actually want Rocky Ascendon. Would you look at that? Now they want him after I tried trading him. Now people all of a sudden want him. Excuse me. But this is how the lineup's going to look going into week 1 without the draft. I'm looking at a center and a guard probably. Jesus. My throat just gave up. I needed to draft a center and a guard in the draft. Also need to draft another tight end. Don't trust these two. I need someone else behind Colby. I think that's it for offense, unless like a crazy good receiver drops to me, then maybe I'd take a chance on him. I'm just trying to think what will help me get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. I only got 2 more tries left. We got 2 more seasons until this series is done, and then we go to Madden 22 and we pick another team. So we're running out of time. We need to draft people that would be more impactful. So receivers, obviously, I might be one. Maybe I can draft a super quick guy, 95, 96 speed or something, and mess around with him more and have him be kind of like my baby, like John Ross when I had all these sweeps and stuff. Not that Paris Campbell can't do it, but I mean, I wish he was a little bit faster. He's got 94 speed acceleration, but I believe John Ross had 96 speed or something crazy. So we'll see. We'll just have to see how the draft falls for us. Huston also got to superstar at the end of season rewards, and he actually got some decent abilities. He got inside deadeye. Passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all throws inside the numbers. So I actually think that's a pretty good ability there. And this one's kind of whatever. Anchored extender while in the pocket. Passes with this ability are almost guaranteed to break the first sack attempt by a blitzing DB. So I'm happy to see him get the superstar. We did get JT to X Factor as well. He had a terrible X Factor ability, though. I mean, satellite, he doesn't catch that many passes. When is JT going to be even able to get in the zone? I mean, God, I was so upset when I saw that be his X Factor. Out of all the X Factors I could have got, that's the one I got for JT. So that was slightly unfortunate. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball. This defensive line is the best it's ever been by far. I mean, the fact that I'm able to still keep Carden on the roster, he's big enough to play defensive tackle, so I can move him over to defensive tackle. Not that Todd Harden's bad, but, I mean, Darren Carden's definitely better. Still have D-Buck and Davenport and add DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, this defensive line is insane. I mean, I have to be top 5 in sacks this year. If I'm not, I'm going to be very disappointed because I got a 96, a 91, a 92, and my 4th guy's an 83 overall. I mean, these 4 got to dominate. I mean, they just have to. Safety duo still the same. Corners, we'll probably draft 1 or 2 corners. because there's a lot of good corners in this draft. So we'll probably draft one or two, and one of them might be playing in the slot for us. Like I said, Gilbert, depending on how things work out, if we get Eric Kendricks, he'll slide over and Eric will be in the middle. If we don't get Eric Kendricks, we'll probably draft either an outside linebacker or a middle linebacker, and then Gilbert will, swap to whatever the opposite is. Still got, Jabril, Darius Leonard, all that good stuff. But the main thing is DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, I'm so hyped I actually won this. I had like a 30% chance, too. I did not have a good chance whatsoever. He's got Unstoppable Force, which is a pretty legendary one. He's got Swim Club. Defenders with this ability will ignore one bar of block rushing when attempting a swim or club pass rush move, and he has the under pressure one, which is a pretty solid superstar ability there. I mean, look at these stats, man. Oops, I didn't mean to back out. Let me go admire the man's stats. Look at this. I mean, this is... I know he's getting up there in age. He's like, what, 32 now? Yeah. He's on a 2-year deal. So I think it was like 2 years. I don't even remember what I signed him for. Eric Kendricks, that one's a 1-year deal if I get him. I'm just going to be renting him for a year and then letting him go. Probably will not re-sign him. But DeMarcus Lawrence is 2 years, so he's locked up for the rest of the series. This defensive line is insane. I mean, especially we got Davenport's 5th-year option picked up. I think the only other person that we're going to have to... Buckner might have to get re-signed either this season or next season. It's going to be this next season he's going to have to get re-signed, which is going to be some cash flow. I might just play him on the tag if it's cheaper. We'll have to see. But I need pass rush, especially to help out my corners. They're not amazing, and they're not trash, but they're just kind of okay. So my thought process, get the pass rush really dialed in. If I can get DeMarcus Lawrence, that way it helps out the corners and everything back there, so they're not just running around for like 5 seconds a time. And luckily we won DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, that was huge. And then we had to cut a lot of people to create cap. But would you look at that? We just advanced. Perfect timing. And we did get Eric Kendricks. Well, I guess while we're here, let me do my points before they send to the draft. Because the draft, I've just been doing receivers just so I can see. The draft's going to be coming here in any second. Ooh, there's a second rounder right there. What else? A 6th rounder. Let me just spam in here. Okay, tight ends I did. Look at all these freaking dudes, man. We'll get into this stuff later, obviously. But for now, shit. Well, now I really don't know what to do, man. Oh my days. Okay, well that's good enough for now. I scouted some. I'll do the rest off camera. But we did get Eric Kendricks, which is huge. He's accepted the contract. So I guess we'll go ahead and move this man over to left outside linebacker before we forget here. No, it's right. It's right outside linebacker. So Gilbert coming, edit player to the right side. That's amazing that we got Eric Kendricks, because the linebacker class was not looking too promising. I mean, there were some decent guys there, and I was gonna take one and user him. But the fact that we're able to get the 1-year rental for Eric Kendricks is massive, but we are strapped for cap. Like, our cap space is extremely limited right now. But, I mean, I'll take it. In the draft, we'll address, these two guys here, possibly a tight end, maybe a receiver, defensive side of the ball. We really need nothing besides a corner or two here, but we got a lot of picks. Eric Kendricks, superstar. He has the lurker ability, which, me using him, maybe that will help me be better. I feel like I wasn't the best last season with my lurks. I just feel like I used to get picks all the time, and I really have just been kind of running around clueless, missing tackles and stuff. So maybe Eric Kendricks will bring that to us. I mean, he's a solid player. He really is. I mean, the stats aren't that bad. His zone's not that bad. Even this man right here that we got, the Bobby Okereke, in that trade. I mean, he's got 92 tackling, 89 speed. He's really, really quick. Decent play recognition. His zone's 79, so he's not the worst in coverage. I really don't think he's that bad. So moving him to the outside linebacker spot. I see Eric Kendricks and Bobby Okereke as even, and I see Gilbert better than Anthony Walker. So, my three linebackers are already better. My defensive line's extremely better with Darren Carden at defensive tackle and DeMarcus Lawrence on the line. So, huge wins for me in the offseason. With the amount of money I had to work with, didn't have much, and only put in 2 bids on Kendricks and Lawrence and won them both. So I think that's a massive W for us. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the draft picks before we end it. We have a shitload. We got 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, 2 third-rounders. Remember the Malik Hooker trade? I traded for future picks with Jacksonville. Luckily, good thing I did, because Jacksonville went 8-8, didn't make playoffs, so they were fairly good picks there. Still got a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in this year. And then next year we had to, pick in every round and 2 in the second round. So big draft. We got to hit on some picks this draft because we have 10 picks, I believe. It's a shitload of picks. That's the most I think I've ever had in a league. So we really need to hit on some of them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know if you think I did good in the offseason. I think I did as best as I could, honestly. I really think I did pretty damn good. And I'll see you guys in the next one.